One. Hey guys, welcome back. We are now on chapter 7 of Into the Wild, and this is the chapter that we thought was happening last week with Yellowfang. It is happening this time, so Yellowfang is officially here.
We double checked.
Yes, triple checked. Uh,
Absolutely.
so everyone knows, Hazel has white cough. We're assuming she's got the coughitis. So she's gonna have to bear with it. She's not here
Fresh out
next
of
week.
catnip.
Then it went to green cough. So we'll see. I'm just gonna ship you catnip, and you can just sit there and puff it and see if it works.
Is that really how you do it?
No, they eat it, but I'm assuming you don't want to eat it. I thought you'd rather just sniff it. So yeah,
I don't know. I thought you could.
I don't know if
I
you
could
can
be wrong.
like if people can eat catnip.
I, I think, I think you can use it in tea.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah, I've
Catnip tea. My
you
gosh.
can brew tea out of it. Yeah.
Just imagine walking around like a park with that and just all the stray cats just following you around as you're drinking your tea.
I think it's literally for cats, though. I think you put it
Oh,
in their little bowl and they lap it up. But like, yeah.
that makes more sense. Um, but yeah, so getting right into it, I have 3 questions about like halfway down the page because he's heading back to the stream, which is important. He says he's heading back towards a stream. Just remember that stream because it is important. Um, and he smells again the faint smell in the breeze, and it's a stranger, perhaps a Shadow Clan warrior. So he says, for one thing, he could tell by smelling that she's old. I didn't know you could do that. I don't think that's a thing later on. They could smell like kit because they smell like milky, but I don't think you could smell age. He also says that she doesn't have the scent of Shadow Clan, but she was literally just in Shadow Clan. Like we saw her eyes across the thunder path, and she's was just exiled, so she should still smell like Shadow Clan. Also throwing me off. And third, he could smell that she is tired, hungry, sick. Okay, that makes sense. And that she was in an ugly mood. So you can also smell mood. Just some things I noticed.
Like, like the idea of like pheromones and stuff like that, like, could be affected by like mood.
I mean,
Or
I
those things do
guess.
affect mood. I'm sure somehow you could like figure out like based on people say you like smell fear and stuff like that. Like
Oh yeah, they do smell fear, but it'd be like, oh yes, I could smell that he's angry. Like it just it does. I get fear scent, but they never say like anger scent, kind of thing. But yeah, it's just something that they do here that I don't think ever comes back up.
I mean it was just it the plot thickens.
Yes, they do have the because I think this comes up later on too that he smells her, he's going to find her, and all of a sudden she's behind him, so she's like super sneaky with that kind of thing, which is pretty cool. And I like that he describes it as a snarling ball of fur burst from the bushes behind him. That perfectly describes Yellowfang, a snarling ball of fur. And then of course we got the
We
meow. I had them all written down. Every cat noise that's in here I have written down.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So about the smells like doesn't smell like Shadow Clan. Like are you saying she was literally like just exiled and just so happened to come across a puny apprentice?
Yes.
I thought there was some time that
Well, I
passed.
think it's some time, but it sounds like she's still been hanging out in Shadow Clan territory.
Maybe she's been dipping back and forth between the two, just kind of like on the border where she's like crossing between like Thunder Clan and Shadow Clan.
Is
Or
wait, isn't that why? Hold on. Um, what? seems that they're okay. So they don't exactly say it, but they see it. I was wondering if that's why Grey Paws bring that message. If they've scented Shadow Clan in their territory, and it was her, but it seems that some Shadow Clan cats have been prowling around. So maybe they are scenting her, like she's the one who's been crossing back and forth. But again, that means that she should smell like Shadow Clan. So maybe it's cats looking for her, kind of thing, like to drive her out. But
Maybe.
yeah, because if it is her, then she does still smell like Shadow Clan. If it's not her, then why are they crossing the border at the moment? I mean, it's Broken Star. He
He's
doesn't care.
also, yeah, I mean, he's also not like I would argue he's not like overly familiar. Like he can pick up like subtle nuances and stuff like that. So like, if she wasn't like very distinctly pungent Shadow Clan, like he might not realize.
Yeah.
And be like something kind of unfamiliar about her, like, oh, she must have just like crossed through there, but she doesn't smell like fresh Shadow Clan cat because she doesn't smell like. I mean, she does actually smell
Apparently she
pretty.
smells really bad, so maybe that's covering up her Shadow Clan scent. It's just smell of
Yeah, I was gonna say like
musty, stinky,
pungent.
rotting cat. Ugh.
Poor yellow.
This line always makes me laugh. A puny apprentice, easy prey for Yellow Fang. Like, why are you speaking to yourself in like third person? First off, like, it's a weird
I
thing,
just
but like even then, since when are cats cannibals? I don't think this has ever come up again. She wants to eat him. Like this is a concern.
I mean, what was the whole like? It's part of the warrior code. You don't let a kill go to waste.
I mean, sure, but like, I don't think it's a part of the warrior code that it's okay to eat other cats at all. Like,
It doesn't say anything about not doing it.
do we really need to add this to the warrior code? Thou shalt not eat another cat ever.
I mean,
Oh, it's just weird to think about.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I guess. Well, when we make our own code, we'll add that in there because of
I
Yellowfang.
think every time I like read that line, I just hear it in like this like old gravelly like smoker voice or whatever. Like
Probably. Yeah, it's just easy prey for Yellowfang. Like,
it
woman,
is
way to give away your own name.
hilarious.
You're technically wanted right now, and you just told him who you are.
It doesn't matter. It's easy prey.
I guess. Yeah, then we got the
I love the insult.
yeah, this is easy prey or puny. I don't know which one, but he's very insulted. He was gonna show this coughed up furball what kind of warrior he was. Like, they're so mean to Yellowfang in this. She's a ball of fur, now she's a coughed up furball. Ugh.
I mean, balls of fur can look kind of cute. Like
I want you to look at a furball and like a hairball and tell me if any of them look cute. It's like in
I
a
was thinking of the other like when you like say like, oh, your cat's like a fur ball. Like
well, yeah.
I wasn't thinking of like an actual like fur ball.
Have you ever seen Amazing World of Gumball?
Yes.
Have you seen the episode where Mr. Brown shaves or something? He loses a whole bunch of hair, and the Gumball and Darwin find the hair and think it's the hamster they're supposed to be watching, and they're just carrying around this mat of this man's fur, and it's like it gets wet and like soggy, and they're like kissing it and stuff, and it's just a lump of wet fur. Apparently, that's Yellowfang. That's what I'm thinking of right now. So, yeah. um. Oh, where were we? Popped up all of, yeah. So then, he flings her off using his attack that we talked about last episode, where he goes limp, and then when they are confident, he surges up and flings them off. He's like, yeah, not such easy prey now, haha. And then when they describe her, she's saying that she has a broad, almost flat face with round orange eyes. Her dark fur Dark gray fur was long and matted in smelly clumps. Her ears were torn and ragged, and her muzzle was traced with the scars of many old battles. Which, the battles make sense. She used to be a warrior, so she has fought, kind of thing. But gosh, it's just such a gross description of a cat. And every time I hear it, I know they. I'll get into it later, but they say what breed she most likely is. But every time I hear this of a cat with long hair and a broad, flat face, I always think Persian, because like they're have that. I'm sorry, people who love Persians, but they're kind of ugly. Like they have a very smushed, flat face, and they're very long haired. So I always think of her as a Persian. But
They're
yeah,
always very mean too. I've never met a
exactly.
nice one.
They're very stuck up. They know that they're worth like thousands of dollars. And but yeah, enough talk. Like
Pictured her as like
as
a
what?
rag doll or something.
Yeah, I mean they look kind of similar. So it just like the what I think of, like if you could think of a stereotypical Persian cat with that just stuck up like squished in face, that's what I always picture. But I don't know. Apparently she's not. And then they start fighting again, and I had to write down all. I'll go back over the actual battle, but we have a Grar, Yow, Mer, Ugh, Riao Wow Wow, and a Garoff, and a Paw. All within like 2 pages, I think. I'm so happy they got rid of it. Like, this is the chapter that I was talking about at the beginning that they do this like crazy. And the, what is it? The Riao Wow Wow, like, is probably my favorite one. But, it's like, ow, wow, wow, wow kind of thing. But, yeah.
Oh, could you imagine that like an animated series or something? Someone trying to like it'd just be so cartoony.
Yeah. Like, later on, they'll just say, like, screeches and battle cries and blah, blah, blah. They don't sound out the. I'm very happy they stopped this.
I don't know, add some interest, some flavor to the writing.
Yeah, flavor. But yeah, they're just rolling around, scratching at each other, ears pressed flat to their head. Um, he's trying to get a grip on her, but her clumpy fur is so snagged up in his claws that he can't like pierce her skin. And then she like rears up, and with her filthy tail bristling, she looked even bigger. So he ducks in time as she tries to bite him in the ear, and then he smacks her on the side of the head, which apparently stuns her. So while she's recovering, he lunges forward and bites into her back leg, which again, that's a meaty piece of a cat, like their hind leg. And he said her matted fur tasted horrible, but he chomped down harder, and that's where the Riao Wow Wow comes in as he's biting into her leg. And then she bites him on the spine, which sounds or no, on the tail, which is their spines. That sounds just excruciating. And they pretty much end the fight after that. But this part, I think, is like the pivotal moment for Firepaw, where he's looking at her up close. She's desperate. She's weak. She's hungry. She's in pain, and he feels pity for her, which he remembers the two parts of the conversation he had with Lionheart and Tiger Claw of the "You speak your heart, young Firepaw. This will make you a strong warrior one day." Then he thinks of what Tiger Claw said, or it might make him give in to kitty pet weakness at the right moment of attack. So here's his moment of, do I go with what Lionheart told me to do, or with what Tiger Claw told me to do? And he goes with Lionheart. He takes pity on her, which is like the big moment for him, kind of thing. Because at this moment, he could have gone either way. We don't know, but he chose to go with Lionheart.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have any notes during their epic battle?
No. I think you very thoroughly covered that. The only thing that I could say is every time I hear the description of him trying to get his claws like through her fur, but it's so tangled and matted and stuff, I'm like, man, that's like free armor basically.
Yeah,
Like normally you'd be like, man, like cats that are matted and all this other stuff, like your heart breaks for them and stuff. And like, no, in her case, like I might have actually saved her.
It could have, yeah. It's like, yeah, if you think of, like, when animals get like mats, or like sheep have like mats and stuff you gotta shave out, like you're not getting through that. Like she's immune right now to everything except for her legs. Which makes sense. There's normally not too much hair on the inside of a cat's thigh, so yeah. Yeah, I just have like a whole list of all the different like weird noises they make. And yeah, he backs off, so she's wounded. She can't stand up anymore because her leg's so messed up. They don't really ever point out, except for him being bit on the back of the neck, him having wounds. So either they're just not mentioning it, or he got away with this, like, except and being bit on the tail, pretty much like unhurt. But then she tells him to finish me off. I won't stop you. And he's hesitating because he's like, in the heat of a battle, maybe he would to defend his clan, but like right now, she's just laying there. She's not a threat anymore, so it feels wrong. And she's like, "What are you waiting for? You're dithering like a kitty pet." And it's like, it's almost like she's saying like a warrior would kill her, but again, that's not part of the warrior code unless at this point she considers herself a rogue, not part of ShadowClan, in which case it's kind of more morally gray area.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
yeah,
especially, it's
because
completely not okay to ever attack a medicine cat, which she also is.
yeah, I mean, the warrior code very explicitly states like you are like never to kill another
Definitely, or
clan
a
cat.
warrior is one thing. A medicine cat is like forbidden. You never attack a medicine cat. But yeah, so I was like, maybe she just doesn't think of herself as Shadow Clan cat anymore. She thinks of herself as a rogue. But later on, she also refuses to give away Shadow Clan secrets, so she is still protective of them. But she says she misses the old Shadow Clan, like Ragged Star Shadow Clan, not Broken Stars. Um, but yeah, because I wrote in here, it's like warriors don't kill cats, but Broken Star does. So it's like, is she also saying that she thinks like Broken Star is right? Like she definitely does it. It's just weird that she would mention that, but it's also probably maybe just not in the code yet to not kill at this moment.
It probably wasn't like fully
Yeah, because she's like, act
written
like a
or
warrior and finish me off. Like a warrior wouldn't finish you off at this point. You've been beaten. That's it. Like you're. That's like yeah. Tiger Claw would have, but he's not really a warrior.
yeah, okay, I found it. An honorable warrior does not need to kill other cats to win his battles unless they are outside of the warrior code or is necessary for self-defense, neither of which.
Correct.
She might just like, it's like an easy out for her almost. Like,
Yeah,
she
because
doesn't
it
have to
also says
live.
like she has a they both look uncertainly at each other, so she's not 100% sure. She's just trying to have like dignity, I think.
Yeah. It's sad. This
Yeah.
part always makes me feel like it just like tears me in like a completely like different way because like I always saw it as her being like I just want a way out of all of this, but I don't want to have to make my way out of all of this.
Yeah, she's like, she's already suffered, and she's like, okay, you've bested me, at least I can die with honor this way rather than starving to death, kind of thing. Which she would have if he didn't take pity on her. And then I think she's like, well, he says, you seem in an awful hurry to die. And she says, yeah, well, that's my business, mouse fodder. So, in case you didn't know, fodder is food given to a domesticated animal. So she's literally calling him like kitty pet again, but mouse fodder, because it's specifically food you give to like sheep, cow, like something you domesticate, like a kitty pet. Just like I don't know if they ever used that term again, so it stuck out to me. Like she calls him kitty a whole bunch of kitty pet and all that, but like mouse fodder was a new one for me. So, but yeah, they said and since she could hardly hunt for herself, perhaps he should kill her now. Like he's thinking maybe it'll be merciful, and they're both looking at each other uncertainly, and then he just goes to get her food. He's like, yeah, I'm not doing this, which, good for him. That's like a very pivotal moment, because if he did kill her after Spotted Leaf dies, ThunderClan wouldn't have a medicine cat. So it's kind of like the second chance.
I feel like it, like, shows like his character as well. Like, like
Yeah.
which way was he gonna go? Like, he gonna choose to be basically someone who's honorable, or you know, like Broken Star.
Yeah, like he's definitely more honorable kind of thing, and I think that honestly surprised her, or at least made her think of how ShadowClan used to be. And it's like ShadowClan's not like that, so I think that's what really got to her. Uh, so he hunts for her, he catches her a rabbit, gives it to her and everything, and she's like embarrassed by it, like, look, if you don't want it, kind of thing. And she, no, I do. And she eats it and then starts to groom herself. And he's like, as if one wash is gonna make a difference, Firepot thought, his nose twitching. She is the art cat of stench. Like, oh, they're so mean to her. Like, I get it, but like, holy cow, the art cat of stench. Like, she's the queen of stench right now. Poor Yellowfang.
I was
It's like she smells so bad that even like in the afterlife from Starclan, they talk about how bad, like how matted her fur is and how bad she smells, like constantly.
that's
It
terrible.
sticks with her.
I made note of the fact that he passes up the dead rat to give her,
Yeah.
despite the fact that she kind of seems like somebody who might eat something like that.
So I thought about that because in, what was it, Force of Secrets, I think, there is a disease going around ShadowClan from cats eating rats from the carry-on place. So I almost wonder, as a medicine cat, she would refuse to eat it because she might know it might have the disease. Because like later on, she's like looking at Little Cloud and Whitethroat who are sick, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like ShadowClan cats know you never eat rats from the carry-on place. Like, haven't you? Didn't your elders tell you this?" Like, well, yeah, but we were hungry, kind of thing, and or but a young apprentice brought it back or something like that. So she may have
Hmm.
refused, but also there's a fox hanging around. Maybe he can eat the rat. Another good thing that he caught her. If the fox found her first, she also would have died. There's no
Now
way
that
she
you
could
point
fight
that
out a
out.
fox. Yeah. Interesting.
Hmm.
And she's like, kind of taunting him about kitty pet stuff. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's better than the muck two legs give some of our brothers, isn't it? And she says, it's poison. Rat droppings. Only a spineless bag of fur would accept such disgusting frog spawn. I'm wondering with her saying it's poison, if that's literally just a Shadow Clan tale. Because it's they say it's disgusting, but it's definitely not poison. So I'm almost wondering if that's actually a tale that they use to not to discourage cats from going to two leg place. It's like saying that the food they give you is poison.
Maybe.
Like, cause
Maybe.
her mate Ragged Star's father was a kitty pet, so it makes sense that Broken Star, knowing that, would spread tales about how kitty pets are bad, kind of thing. It's like maybe they never mentioned it again. It was a weird choice of words to call it poison. Sure, it's lazy food, but it's not poisonous. It's not gonna hurt them. It's just not wild prey kind of thing. It's not dignified to eat it.
Did it say how is?
It does make cats fat though. Maybe that's what they mean.
Oh,
Like if we're like a Big Mac, it's not really poison per se, but it is really bad for you and it makes you fat. So maybe she means it in that sense.
yeah. That, or like, maybe a cat did get sick after eating something that. No, I mean.
Yeah. Um. Oh, I think this confirms what I was arguing about last time. Okay. The patrol coming up is Blue Star's patrol, aka the group that Greypaw went to go tell about went to meet at the owl tree or the the owl tree, but they were over by Wind Clan border per se. But remember how I said before that stream he crossed at the very beginning? So he crosses it again to get the rabbit for her. So that stream is pretty much where he's at. And when they describe this stream to begin with, they say it's the stream that he had first crossed his first time in the territory. You know what that stream is that he first crossed in the territory? Right after they cross it, he asks, "Oh, what's that smell?" And like, "That's ShadowClan. It's right by ShadowClan border. This stream," meaning that again, the patrol has to be by ShadowClan border. They're not by WindClan. So yeah, I just had to point that out. That there's more evidence for me. There's another part I had. I'm gonna have to find it so you can do your notes while I look for this because it's actually very important.
Yes, I don't think that you're wrong.
Okay.
You have a good point. Let's see. What else did I have? Oh yeah. Um his first apprentice task and he ended up breaking the warrior code.
That's sad. He's a failure. But he found Yellowfang.
Yeah. I feel like my like biggest thing is the fact that we don't actually get a lot of like exposure to the warrior code like in its totality.
Yeah. They have said that you don't eat while hunting until the clan is fed because we mentioned it last video too. So we know that's part of the warrior code. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like those other like the other like more nuancy things. They come in later. I think there actually is something on the like Warriors website though, like where they talk about the Warrior Code and like originally there's 16 or more different like rules to follow and everything was just kind of made up on the fly and then they ended up like going back and revising it because it got just so long and like, oh well that's kind of common sense, like don't eat another cat.
Yes. But that should be part of the code. She's not technically doing anything wrong. It's a moral code there, but so I have a very Oh, sorry, what?
I would say it reminds me of this is kind of off the Warriors topic, but it is hilarious. Do you remember Mr. Van, the biology teacher?
Yes.
From middle school. So I was in class with two boys. They played on the basketball team. And we're all sitting there and Mr. Van was talking about, I guess someone had like wrecked, like a plane had wrecked or something like that, and like someone had actually survived by like doing morally questionable things. Anyways, these two boys are like, "Oh no, that's so gross, that's so bad." And Mr. Van's like, "You're telling me if you're plane wrecked on like Mount Everest that you wouldn't like," and he was dead, like you would like just starve to death? Like I don't get that.
It's
And
one of
he's
those
like,
things where it's like until you're in that situation, then you wouldn't know.
so the guy, the kid, he's like, nah, just go hunt me some cantaloupe.
What? There's wild cantaloupe growing at the top of Mount Everest?
He said, hunt, not gather.
Oh yeah, hunt some cantaloupe with like a spear.
Mr. Van could not keep a straight face. He's like, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
You talking about antelope? Like the animal?
Yes.
Oh, okay, hunt me some cantaloupe. But again, antelope wouldn't be on top of Mount Everest.
We had a very interesting conversation.
Now we need some fan art of someone hunting a cantaloupe on top of Mount Everest. Don't worry, I'll get it made for you.
That was all the way back in what, like 6th or 7th grade? Like,
yeah.
It still makes me laugh.
Man, I'm so proud of our generation. So I have a very, it's a big stretch, but I have a theory
Uh-oh.
based on one line in this, and literally, but there's a few other things to go with it, but mostly this one line. So when Firepaw and Yellowfang are fighting, he says, "Enough talk," Firepaw spat, feeling the stir of ancient cat spirits deep inside him. I'd like to point out that this is written probably like 20 years before Dawn of the Clans, which I just finished. So it's on my brain, which is why I was thinking this. But in Dawn of the Clans, the ancient cats, or not just Dawn of the Clans, from pretty much Power 3 on, the ancient cats are the cats who used referred to as the cats who settled by the river years and years and years ago. Like they're ones who originally lived there, then they left to become the tribe of endless hunting, and then a group of them branched off, went to the forest and became the clans kind of thing. So they're all descendants of ancient cats per se. But the fact that he's itching to fight, to defend his territory and protect his clan. When we think of ancient cats per se, as in the tribe cats who came down to form the first clans, it sounds a lot like something Clear Sky would be doing. He's the one who is putting up borders, and he wants to guard the borders jealously. He wants to defend them. He's an ancient cat, like they're all ancestors kind of thing. So it kind of got me thinking. They have confirmed that Firepaw is not descended from Thunderstar, whatever, but it doesn't mean he's not descended from another cat. And you know where Two Leg Place used to be? That is what used to be Sky Clan territory. So as the Sky Clan cats were leaving, it stands to reason that some of them, elders, queens, kids who couldn't make the journey, whatever, may have stayed there as kitty pets. So it's very possible that Firepaw, being a kitty pet, could be a descendant from someone from Sky Clan, which would also be why the prophecy to reunite Sky Clan was sent to him. Like he would have nothing to do with them, but he's the one who's told of, hey, you have to go and put Sky Clan back together. Which again, it would make sense if he's a descendant of Clear Sky or Sky Star, but Clear Sky's son is Thunderstar, so in a way he would still be related to Thunder, who is Thunder Star, like ThunderClan's original leader, kind of thing. So it just, I don't know. I was just thinking about it as I read that line about ancient cats, and like, I wonder if we can make a video, like a theory about if Rusty, Firepaw, Firestar, whatever, is related to SkyClan. Because even in the last episode, we talked about how he's doing the attack by going up in the tree and jumping down. That is a SkyClan move, and he just instinctively does it. Like obviously they didn't think about it back then, but like because no one SkyClan wasn't even thought of when they wrote this book, but
it would make more sense as to why he received the dreams starting at the full moon.
Yeah, like kitty pet kind of thing, if he has some sort of weird ancestor blood kind of thing.
It would also make sense as to why he continues to receive them. It wasn't just like one of those things like, oh, hey, come out to the clans, join us, blah, 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 like, you know.
Yeah, he keeps getting them.
Because I think it literally says, it's either in this book or the next one, but it literally talks about, like, he doesn't want Tiger Claw to know that he has dreams and, like, has a connection with Starclan.
Yeah.
I think it's in this one when they're going out to the Moonstone.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know, literally that one line just got me thinking. I was like, it would make sense if he's going to have any sort of warrior cat blood, that it would be from SkyClan, because SkyClan was there. That was their territory, and they were driven out, kind of thing. So
what if?
I mean, Clear Sky looks nothing like him, but this is also years later. Obviously, like, the genetics will be different.
Well, not only that, but aren't all these cats, like, reincarnated and stuff?
I don't think the leaders are, because we, at some point in Power 3, Shadow Star, Windstar, Thunderstar, and Riverstar all meet up and talk. I don't think Skystar is there. I'm pretty sure he went with his clan, like, when they were broken apart. But I also haven't finished Omen of Shadows, or whatever, Shadows of whatever that series is that every time I mention it, I cannot remember what it's called. I don't know if when they start dreaming of Starclan again, because I haven't got to that part, if all of a sudden Sky Clan ancestors are now part of Shadow Clan again. Or Starclan again. I would assume so. But I don't know. So as I read more into it, we'll figure it out. Because if Skystar comes back with them, because I know a lot of people really hate Clear Sky and think he deserves the Dark Forest and blah blah blah. I love Clear Sky. I'm sorry, he's probably my top 5 favorite characters. But yeah, I just feel like it's really it would be interesting if of all the leaders, he was the one that Firestar is related to. Mm-hmm. Just a thought to throw out there, but yeah.
Based on how you've described Clear Sky, I think that's a bit of a stretch as to like
I mean, personality, sure, but
yeah.
again, his Clear Sky's son is Thunder, who is just like Firestar, the goody, noble leader who, you know, does right by his clan and wants to make peace with that. He's just like him, and that's Clear Sky's son. So, like, why would his descendant be a little bit different? Or like his son, kind of thing. But they have confirmed that Firestar is not related to Thunderstar, but or is not a descendant of him. That doesn't mean he's not somehow related,
Yeah.
Through Clear Sky. It was just, I'm gonna keep thinking about it, but I feel like it would be a really cool tie-in if that's actually like a thing.
I love stuff like that.
It would be super cool. I'm gonna claim it as canon until I'm proven otherwise.
Sounds good to me.
Hell yeah. But then, for the first time in like 2 or 3 episodes, we have a new cat that's been mentioned, aka Yellowfang, to do a breakdown, or get to know the cats kind of thing. So we have Yellowfang. Her mother was Brightflower. Her father is Brackenfoot. Her sisters are Rowanberry and Marigold Kit, and her brothers are Nutwhisker and Mint Kit. Mint Kit and Marigold Kit were born later, after she was already a medicine cat, and they're the 2 kits that Broken Star kills and blames on her that she gets exiled for. So they were her brother and sister that were killed. Very sad. It has been confirmed that she has, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, mere touch synesthesia. I think that's how you say it, where you could feel the pain of others. So like if someone's got a scratch or like a thorn in their pad or something, she'll feel it. So that's why she's such a good medicine cat. And Kate says that she pictures her to be a British short hair, even though we know she's long haired and clumpy. So I think that's where she gets the smushed face. So I still think Persian, but she has said British short hair, and she is Kate's favorite character. But her least favorite death to write. Jay Feather is still my favorite, but I think Clear Sky might be number 2. Bring on the hate, guys. Like, I'm ready for it. I will. He's such an interesting character. And he kind of, when we get to my video of the Cats of the Dark Forest, he's gonna play a major part in me justifying certain things. But yeah, did you have any other notes to add?
Oh, let me see. No, I think we covered everything that was in my notes.
Yeah,
outside of row 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 or
whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, except for like we were looking forward to the chapter so much, but it's a whole bunch of fighting. Not too much actually happens in it. So.
Yeah, and
we got a theory.
That, like,
the clear.
Oh, and there's other things too, like
fire sky is what I'm gonna call it. Yeah, the fire sky theory. Or Skyfire. No, I think it's Fire Sky.
Red clouds.
Oh, the pink clouds of death. Clearly, that's part of the theory. But yeah, I think that is it. Be on the lookout. We're probably in the next few days we're going to be having unless it's already out, depends on how the order I edit these. But gonna have a top 10 of the 50 most hated cats of the series, so that should be interesting. But yeah, I think that is it for now.
Us poor cats.
Agreed. We hope you don't turn to green cough. Make sure to eat some catnip. But
Yeah,
till
I'll get
next
right on
time,
that.
guys, we'll see you next week. Bye byes.